Have you ever looked at a Cartier LOVE bracelet that's over $10,000 or a Van Cleef and Arpels Alhambra necklace that's almost $5,000 and thought, how on earth can they charge that much for a simple piece of jewelry? It's just gold. It's just diamonds, and there are hundreds of jewelry brands making almost identical designs for a fraction of the price. So today we're answering the question everyone wants to know. Why is luxury jewelry so expensive? Is it really better quality? Are you paying for craftsmanship, or are you simply paying for the name? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly where your money goes and whether these iconic luxury brands are actually worth buying. Okay, let's get into it. Part 1, history. You're buying 100 years of history. One thing that separates luxury jewelers from almost every other brand is heritage. Some of these masons have been around for well over a century. When you buy a piece of their jewelry, you're buying decades and sometimes centuries of history. Take Cartier, for example. Founded in Paris in 1847, Cartier became known as the jeweler of the kings and the king of the jewelers. Royal families across Europe commissioned Cartier to create tiaras, jewelry, and ceremonial pieces, earning it royal warrants from Spain, Portugal, Serbia, Russia, and more. Fast forward to 1969. Designer Aldo Capullo created the Cartier LOVE bracelet. Its screw lock design represented everlasting commitment, and over 50 years later, it's still one of the most recognizable bracelets in the world. The Cartier LOVE bracelet is Cartier's most successful collection ever, and one of the most iconic jewelry designs of the modern era. Then there's Chaumet. Many people don't realize Chaumet dates back to 1780. Chaumet was founded in 1780 by Marie Etienne Nito. The house became famous for creating crowns and tiaras for Napoleon Bonaparte and Empress Josephine. Specifically, Napoleon's coronation swords set with the regent diamond, papal tiara, and ceremonial jewels for Josephine. Even today, Chaumet is considered one of the world's greatest tiara makers. So when you buy Chaumet, you're buying from a mason whose craftsmanship helped design the image of European royalty. Van Cleef and Arpels has another incredible story. Founded in 1906, the maison introduced the Alhambra collection in 1968. The four-leaf clover wasn't just a pretty design, it symbolized luck, health, fortune, and love, which is exactly why it became one of the most iconic jewelry collections ever created. Even today, people immediately recognize the silhouette from across the room. Then we have Bvlgari. Founded in Rome in 1884, Bvlgari became famous for bold Italian design, vibrant colors, and gemstones. And of course, the Serpenti collection. The first Serpenti watch debuted in 1948 using the Tubogas construction, and the snake became a symbol of transformation, rebirth, and eternal beauty. The Tubogas collection used a unique technique used early in the Serpenti watches. It is a marvel of engineering, no soldering, just perfectly interlocking bands of gold that coil like a living creature. While other masons focused on diamonds, Bvlgari embraced bold color, mixing sapphires, emeralds, and rubies in a way no one else dared. That fearless use of color became its signature. Tiffany and Co., arguably America's most famous jeweler, introduced the Tiffany setting engagement ring in 1886. The Tiffany setting didn't just become popular, it redefined what an engagement ring looked like. Before 1886, diamonds were buried in metal. Tiffany lifted the stone into the light and changed the industry forever. Tiffany owns one of the most famous diamonds in the world, the 128 carat Tiffany yellow diamond. It's so iconic that only a few women in history have ever worn it. These include women like Audrey Hepburn, Lady Gaga, and Beyonce. Tiffany's legacy includes some of the greatest jewelry designers of the 21st century. Schlumberger, Peretti, Picasso, artists whose work turned Tiffany into a cultural inspiration. So before you've even looked at the gold or the diamonds, you're already paying for over a century of reputation. Which jewelry house is your favorite from history? Cartier, Van Cleef, Bvlgari, Chaumet, or Tiffany? Let me know in the comments because I'd love to hear which one's your favorite. Next part, the materials. Now let's talk about what's actually going into these pieces. One of the biggest misconceptions is that luxury jewelry uses normal gold. Not really. Most luxury maisons use 18 karat gold. That's 75% pure gold, and it's harder to work with, more expensive, and contains significantly more gold than 9 or 14 karat jewelry. Then there's platinum, which many brands use in engagement rings because it's naturally white and incredibly dense. The price of the raw materials alone has increased dramatically in recent years, especially gold. And if you've noticed luxury jewelry prices climbing every year, that's one reason why. But the diamonds are where things get really interesting. Part 3, diamond quality and certification. Not every diamond is equal. Luxury maisons spend enormous amounts sourcing diamonds that meet incredibly strict internal standards. Cartier engagement rings typically include internationally recognized GIA grading reports for significant center diamonds, giving buyers independent verification of the diamond's quality. Bvlgari also uses GIA certification for qualifying bridal diamonds, alongside a selection by its own gemologists. Tiffany does something completely different. Instead relying on GIA reports, Tiffany issues its own diamond certificate. The company argues that its grading standards are even stricter and backs those grades with a lifetime warranty. Many of these brands also reject a large amount of diamonds before they ever reach a showroom. Consistency matters. When someone buys a Cartier or Tiffany engagement ring, they expect exceptional quality every single time. Part 4. The craftsmanship. Here's something most people never see. Luxury jewelry isn't made in minutes. Some pieces require dozens of skilled craftspeople. Stone setters, polishers, goldsmiths, gemologists, quality inspectors. Many techniques are still completed by hand. Every polished edge, every mirrored finish, every perfectly aligned screw is checked repeatedly before it reaches a boutique. That's one reason these pieces often feel different in person. The tolerances are incredibly tight. The finishing is meticulous, and that's expensive. If you're enjoying learning about luxury jewelry, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give this video a like. It tells YouTube that you're enjoying this type of educational content and helps more jewelry lovers find these videos. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe because every week we dive deep into luxury jewelry, designer shopping, reviews, buyer's guide, and everything you need to know to be a luxury smarter shopper. Part 5. Why can other brands sell similar jewelry for so much less? This is probably the biggest question. If another jeweler can make a very similar bracelet, why is it thousands of dollars cheaper? Sometimes it's because they don't have the same marketing costs, boutique network, global customer service, or heritage. Sometimes they're simply operating with much smaller profit margins, and that's okay. There are fantastic independent jewelers making beautiful fine jewelry. But there's one thing they usually can't replicate: instant recognition. Everyone knows a Cartier LOVE bracelet. Everyone knows a Cleef Alhambra. Everyone knows a Tiffany blue box. That recognition has value. Whether you personally think it's worth paying for is completely up to you. And just to let you know, down below, I've linked some of my favorite jewelry pieces and beauty essentials. So make sure you check that out in the description. Part 6. Are you actually paying for the name? The honest answer is yeah. But that's not the whole story. You're paying for the brand, the history, the design, the craftsmanship, the boutique experience, the after-sales service, the resale recognition, the packaging, the quality control, and the heritage. And the emotional feeling that comes from owning something iconic. Some people value that, others don't. Neither answer is wrong. If all you want is beautiful gold jewelry, there are incredible independent jewelers. If you want an instantly recognizable icon with decades of history behind it, that's where luxury maisons shine. Part 7. Is it actually worth it? Is luxury designer jewelry overpriced? Personally, I don't think there's a single answer. If you're only comparing the raw value of gold and diamonds, then yeah, you are paying a very large premium. But luxury has never been about raw materials alone. It's about artistry, history, emotion, craftsmanship, and owning a piece that's become part of jewelry history. That's why people save for years to buy their first Cartier LOVE bracelet, their first Van Cleef Alhambra necklace, or their dream Tiffany engagement ring. Sometimes what you're really buying is the feeling. I'd love to know what you think. Do you believe luxury jewelry is worth the premium, or would you rather buy a similar quality piece from an independent jeweler? Leave your thoughts down below because I always love reading your opinions. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's thinking about buying their first luxury jewelry piece. And if you want to become an even smarter luxury jewelry buyer, click the videos on the screen now where I'll explain the differences between gold and platinum or gold jewelry explained in depth in a guide. They're both part of my Luxury Jewelry Academy playlist, and they'll help you make more informed decisions next time you purchase. Have a great day. See ya.